So, as we sorta know why Naughty Dog isn't just pumping out The Last of Us Part 3 right now, and after all, studios like Naughty Dog are famous for leveling up their tech with every release. Think back, Uncharted on PlayStation 3 looked amazing, then Uncharted 2 jumped so far ahead it felt like a brand new console generation. When The Last of Us hit on PS4, it flexed with what Sony's new hardware could really do. That kind of leap from PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4 is quite, well, rare, and it set the bar sky high for everything that followed. Uncharted 4 had to top Uncharted 2's wow factor, and it definitely did. Even in 2025, 8 years after its release, you'd be hard-pressed to find a studio that matches its blend of story, visuals, and gameplay freedom. Climbing, vaulting, and combat all felt natural. No invisible rails forcing you into a single path. You could shimmy up the wall diagonally, or blast through an area however you like. It was the peak of what Naughty Dog engine could handle on Earth. Then came The Last of Us Part 2, which wasn't just a narrative powerhouse, but a technical marvel as well. People who didn't even care for its story still gushed over how tight and immersive the gameplay was. Every animation, from looting while crouched to splashing through water, was there for a reason. They wanted you to feel like Ellie was really there, breathing, panicking, getting hurt. The AI wasn't just cover-to-cover bots. Enemies would shift, respond to your stress level, even dodge differently if you were a human or infected. Tiny touches like Ellie's heartbeat affecting her breathing sounds all added to that immersion. It might seem maybe kind of like an overkill. Most people never really see these sorts of animations, but that hidden polish is exactly why you lose yourself in these sorts of games. So where does this leave us? Naughty Dog's next move is obviously Intergalactic, a brand new sci-fi IP that apparently draws inspiration from Akira and Cowboy Bebop. It's a clever play, but taking the story off-world, they give themselves breathing room to push the graphics, AI, and gameplay tech even further, just like they did between 2013 and 2020. Space is a massive sandbox. There aren't the same real-world rules or performance limits. So imagine zero-G parkour on alien wreckage, or fluid melee with laser swords and environmental-driven combos. The potential for the new animation systems, reactive AI, and improvisation in terms of its combat, well, it could be quite insane. For a AAA game today casting on their series of names, like think generic open world titles, struggles because, well, they just rehash the same formulas. They rely on player nostalgia more than innovation. Sure, adding a fresh map or a few tweaks can net good sales, but they rarely shift the industry. Big step-ups now usually require either an established franchise snoring guaranteed fans, or remaking a beloved IP to cash in on its legacy. Purely original games have a steeper climb. Inflated budgets and sky-high players' expectations make it tough to stand out with the new ideas. That's why Naughty Dog sits apart. They're not slapping together a sequel just because it sells. They're advancing the medium itself. Naughty Dog could drop Uncharted 4 on the market today, and you think it was a brand new release, because it still plays that smooth and looks that crisp. That's not stagnation in gaming. It's proof Naughty Dog has been years ahead of its tech and the design. To doubt Intergalactic before you see it is to ignore a decade and a half of innovation. Now, let's talk specifics. Naughty Dog has quietly built some of the best interactive animations in gaming. Remember Uncharted 3, when Drake brushed his hand along the wall instead of smacking right into it? A tiny touch, and players went crazy over how real it felt. In The Last of Us, they added cover swap animations. If you creep up on Ellie's spot, both of you smoothly reposition without clipping. Uncharted 3 also debuted a melee system that lets you interact with dozens of environmental objects. Uncharted 4 then took that into a full blast, giving you combat that adapts to any setting. Indoors, cliffsides, crumbling ruins, no matter where you're shimmying, the game knew how to react. Multiplayer? Same deal. Online and Uncharted 4 is still alive because it's one of the few shooters where your movements and strategies aren't locked down. You literally feel the weight and the momentum of every shot, every dodge, every jump. That single-player tech seamlessly translated to a PvP arena. Groundbreaking stuff that most of the devs just can't replicate. In The Last of Us Part 2, they showed all of the animations and AI into a narrative knife fight with the undead. Enemy AI moved organically. No more stand here, shoot here patterns. Infected would sprint, lounge, flank, and even get spooked. Each battle felt fresh. Part 2 also introduced a dodge button that changed how you timed attacks and reacted to threats. They built in the animations for the tiniest player's actions, trying a rope, recoiling a winch, swimming underwater while Ellie scooped riverbed's pebbles. All of it, no matter how obscure, was there in case of some hardcore fan who wanted to explore or play differently. Most players never notice these Easter eggs, but they what makes the experience stick with you long after. So imagine all that, but in a zero-G cityscape, neon-lit space stations, alien wildlife zones, Intergalactic could unleash melee and range combos we haven't even dreamed up yet. Picture sliding along a ship's hull, springing off the gravity well, using an opponent's own laser blast to vault into the combo chains. Or AI enemies that stalk you in 3 dimensions, no flat grounds, no set patrol routes. With sci-fi tools, Naughty Dog can blur lines between scripted scenes and real gameplay more than ever before. Fans of Akira and Bebop will love the vibe. Stylish kinetic movements, hardcore sci-fi world building, cool one-liners and slick animations, and let you feel every grunt and gear shift. You want parkour meets laser ballet meets tactical melee? That's the sweet spot for Naughty Dog's Shooting 4. That's exactly the kind of fresh IP we need right now to shake up the stale open world templates. Of course, some folks on forums assume it'll flop because, well, it's not grounded enough, or the character looks, well, weird. That's just internet being internet. Look back at least 15 years. Every time Naughty Dog experimented, whether with the climbing animations, AI heartbeat system, or dynamic melee, the result were head on shoulders above anything else on the market. They don't just polish games, they redefine them. Will Intergalactic be flawless? Hard to say until a full gameplay demo drops. But if you study Naughty Dog's track record, from Drake's Fortune to The Last of Us, you know that they iterate relentlessly. They take players' feedback, push R&D budgets, then double down on the tech that makes you forget you're playing a game. That's exactly what a leap into the space is for. Unchained creativity, no gravity limits, no rulebook except what you craft. If someone writes off Naughty Dog as washed up or too cinematic, remind them of the handrail that they removed in every game so you could actually truly feel in control. Tell them to wait for the reveal, because Intergalactic is poised to be more than just another shooter. It's a next level playground where your skills, ingenuity, and Naughty Dog's signature tech all collide. And when that day comes, you'll see why the studio doesn't rush sequels. They build worlds that needs time to evolve, and then of course they blow your mind all over again. And at that, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe, I'll see you guys all, and have a wonderful day.